Hey guys, it's Jenna from Activate at Home. Today we're going to do about a 45-minute body weight dynamic day workout. My dog is chasing a fly, I'm sorry. So you do not need any equipment. There's a warm-up and a cool-down, so the whole thing might take about an hour. But I will go ahead and start you guys up and walk you through everything. So the only thing you really will need is a mat if you do not have one. We are going to start with a Birddog Stretch. So I'm going to use my camera. All right, so I'm going to go at an angle here so you can kind of see, but we're going to be on your hands and knees. We're going to bring out our opposite arm and opposite leg, and then we're going to switch. We're going to do that for 45 seconds, so let me grab the timer. And you guys can go ahead and begin. Take your time with this. This does not need to be fast. Keep that core braced. All right, you guys can relax. Next, we're going to do a Quadruped T-Spine Rotation. So you're going to get on your hands and knees. I'm going to show you from this angle. We're going to try and get our hips back toward our heels almost all the way, but not quite all the way. One arm is down. One hand is going to be right here on your head. We're just going to open up, have our eyes follow that elbow, and come back down. Really try and isolate that T-spine, that upper back, and keep those hips as square as you can. We're going to do 45 seconds per side. You guys can go ahead and begin. Try not to rush these. Really get a nice big long stretch here. Pause for a second. All right, you guys can go ahead and switch, and we'll begin. If this is too much on your wrists, you can always go down on your forearm here. And you guys can relax. Awesome job. Next, we're going to do an alternating forward lunge with an overhead reach. So if you do have room, you can walk with these. You do not need to. And if you have any pain in your knees or anything, just try and go at a depth that's comfortable for you. So what I mean by that is when you step, if this is about all you can do with being pain-free, we'll just do that. We're going to then go ahead and reach up above your head, come back down, take your time, step back, and then switch. If you can, come all the way down in a full range of motion where you step forward, come down, arms above your head, and back. We'll do that. If you also need something to hold on to, that's totally fine. Then you're just going to step, and now as long as you're balanced and you can reach overhead, hold on to whatever you need to come back, and then just switch. All right, if you have room, like I said, you can walk, but we're going to do this for 1 minute. 45 seconds, and we'll alternate in 3, 2, 1. And it does not have to be all in one motion like I'm doing. If you need to break it up and step, come down, come above your head, that's totally fine. When you're coming back from your lunge, your forward lunge, really make sure you're trying to drive through that front heel on the way up, not with your front toe to push off. And time, guys. We're going to go back to those contralateral bird dogs. Let me readjust this for you guys here. On our hands and knees. Opposite arm, opposite hand. You guys can go ahead and begin. Remember, you do not need to rush these. Take your time. Core is nice and tight. And time, guys. If that bothers your knees or wrists for whatever reason, I should have said this in the beginning, we know just swap it out and do a dead bug. So I'll just demonstrate real quick before we move on to our T-spine. So just arms and legs in the air, opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping that lower back pressed into the ground the whole time. Make sure that heel doesn't touch. So if you need to swap that out, you can totally do that. We are going to go ahead back to our T-spine rotation. You guys can go ahead and begin. So remember, sit back as best you can, but not fully toward those heels. We'll open up, get a nice big stretch in that upper back. This really, really helps keeping those hips locked in this position to really isolate that upper T-spine. Which I probably said before is not a super mobile part of our body, but we want to try and make it a little more mobile. Especially now that all we're doing is doing a lot of technology work on the computer and our phone. So this will really help open that all up. And you guys can go ahead and switch. And you guys can go ahead and begin. Remember, if you need to, you guys can go ahead and go on your forearms. All right, you guys can relax. We're going to stand on up. We're going to do our forward lunges. Let me readjust my camera again. With that overhead reach, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Remember, just come to a depth that is most comfortable for you. If you cannot come all the way down like I'm doing, that is totally okay. Main takeaway, though, is to really make sure you're driving and pushing off with that front heel on your way back up and not that front toe. And you guys can relax. Go ahead and grab a drink, and then we are going to get started with our workout. And first circuit is going to be all core. So again, if you have your mat, you're going to want that. So we have 3 core exercises we're going to do for 45 seconds each. Our first one is our hollow body hold. So I'm going to try and come in this angle first. Main takeaway, there's a couple different ways, and I'll kind of demonstrate each that you can do this. First and most challenging way is arms straight up, shoulder blades off the ground, tailbones off the ground, and everything's locked out. The further out you go with your arms and legs, but keeping your tailbone and shoulder blades off the ground is going to be most challenging. Really make sure when you're doing this, you're keeping your neck packed. Otherwise, you're going to feel a lot in the back of your neck. Next thing you can do if that's too challenging is just bend your knees, shoulder blades off the ground, arms straight out, and my tailbone is slightly off the ground. My neck is packed and tucked, and we're just going to hold that. We're going to try that out. Comment below if you feel that none of these are comfortable for you and or you have neck pain. Let me know. I can give you an alternative. If you need to, you can always just do a front plank, okay? So we're going to start with our hollow body hold for 45 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Really try and keep that belly button toward your spine here. And as easy as it probably will be, and you really want to grab onto your legs, try not to do that. Of course, that makes the exercise a lot easier. Awesome job, guys. And if you need to relax and go back into it, that's okay. Almost there. Give me 10 more seconds. And time, guys. Shake that out. We're going to be on your stomachs next. We're going to do something called a Superman. So on your stomach, you're going to have your arms extended, your legs extended, and all we're going to do is try and get our legs slightly off the ground and our arms slightly off the ground, and we're going to try and hold that position for 45 seconds. It can be a very minimal movement off the ground. We're not going up and down, we're just going to hold. If in that 45 seconds of that hold you need to reset, that is totally okay, just go back into it. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. We're going to keep the nice strong glute squeeze here, core is nice and tight. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. About 15 more seconds. And time, guys. Shake that out. We're going to sit up next. We're going to do a seated knee tuck. So hands are just going to be by your side. Again, this can be a very minimal movement, but my heels are off the ground. I'm slightly leaning back, so let me kind of go in this direction for you. And we're just going to tuck in and out. So if you notice too, I was a little too close here. It was not helping me balance. So you might want your hands a little bit further back here, come closer to your glutes and your hips. You can come all the way in and lower yourself. That's going to be extremely challenging. So even like I said, just the tiniest movement goes a long way. All right, we're going to do this for 45 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. And again, these don't need to be fast. Hang in there. It's okay if this feels a lot in your quads, because I feel it in mine, so don't worry. You're not doing anything wrong. Almost there. And time, guys. Awesome job. We are going to do that for 1 minute, or we're going to rest for 1 minute, excuse me. And then we're going to do that whole circuit again. Grab a drink. So depending upon when you watch this video, if it is the week of March 30th, feel free to look up and join on Thursday, April, what day is that? 2nd, I believe it's Thursday. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong day now. I feel like I'm going to. For trivia night at 7 p.m. in our Zoom room. So that will be again Thursday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. All right. Let's get back to it. We're going to go back to our hollow body hold. We're going to do that for 45 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Remember, try and keep that tailbone and shoulder blades off the ground and really make sure that neck stays packed. You don't want to look straight up toward the ceiling because that will really, really start to put a lot of stress on that neck. So think you just almost want to look straight ahead at your legs. Awesome job, guys. 15 more seconds. Almost there. And time, guys. Shake that out. Take 3 deep breaths. We're going to go on our stomachs and do our Superman again. All right. So remember, arms extended, legs are extended, and we're just going to try and lift our arms and legs simultaneously and hold them off the ground, even if it's just a tiny bit. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze everything. Make sure those glutes are nice and tight. Core is nice and tight. And again, try and just look straight down at your mat or the floor so you're not hurting your neck and looking up. About 15 more seconds. And time, guys. Shake that out, take 3 deep breaths. We're going to sit on up and do our seated knee tucks again. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Remember, these don't have to be fast. Minimal movement is totally okay. Doesn't have to be a wide range of motion here. About 15 more seconds. Almost there. And time, guys. 1 minute to rest. And we're going to do this circuit one more time for today, as I had said in previous videos. Feel free if you have time to do more than just 3 rounds or the amount of rounds that I have listed that we're going to do today. So if you have the time and it feels good, go for it. Let me grab a quick drink. I know we're going to go, I promise. Very soon, okay? You want to say hi to everyone? Want to say hi? Okay, you're going to be in my spotlight. Yeah. Okay. And you lay down now. All right, it's about that time. We're going to start back up with our hollow body holds. All right, we'll get started in, let me actually tilt this down a little bit more for you guys. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Remember, try not to hold on to your shins or your shoelaces or anything. Back of your legs, that's going to make it easier. We don't want to do that. Keep those tailbones off the ground, shoulder blades off the ground. If you need to bend your knees, that's totally fine. Good boy, buddy. I know, soon. Awesome job, guys. About 15 more seconds. Almost there. And time. Awesome job. We're going to go back to our Superman on our chest and stomach. Take 3 deep breaths for me. Give those abs a little bit of a rest. I'm going to do a cobra stretch here, and I kind of just uncramp my abs. All right. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. So if you notice, my knees are probably slightly off the ground, my feet, my quads are still touching, so it does not have to be a really high movement off the ground. Hang in there, guys. About 20 more seconds. Squeeze those glutes, keep those cores engaged. Almost there. And time, guys. Final thing for this circuit is those seated knee tucks. Shake it out. Take 3 deep breaths for me. I'm going to stretch my legs out as well. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Just keep moving. If you need to take a second for those abs, I understand it's a lot of core work back to back to back. Hang in there. 15 more seconds. Almost there. Don't stop now. And time, guys. Awesome job. You have 1 minute to rest, and we're going to move on to our next circuit, which you will need nothing. Grab this. All right, I'm going to move my mat real quick since I don't need it. All right, so we have 2 exercises we're going to do back and forth for 20 seconds each. And there are a couple different variations here. So, if you feel comfortable, your first exercise is going to be a jump squat. So remember, find your squat stance, squat, We'll jump, nice soft landing, reset. I don't need them to be continuous, pause at the bottom and jump. If you do not feel comfortable with jumping, we're just gonna do a body weight speed squat. So just as fast as you can. And if all else fails, nothing works for you with squats, you know, it's just gonna be some hip bridges. After that, we're gonna do a high knee walk. So if you do wanna actually walk with this, you're more than welcome to, but just high knees. If you wanna just high knee in place, that's fine as well. One thing to make sure you're doing is don't compromise our neutral spine. So when you bring your knee up, make sure you're not crunching or anything. Stay nice and tall and only bring it up as far as that we have still that neutral spine. So we're gonna do our squats for 20 seconds, either jump or speed. For the sake of me kind of catching my breath, I'm just gonna do speed squats so I don't run out of steam while I'm trying to explain and talk to you guys, okay? We're gonna start that for 20 seconds, and then I'll kind of walk you guys through everything as we go for the rest. But we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Good, remember cores are nice and tight. Make sure I'm glute squeeze at the top. Make sure you're standing nice and tall. Drive those knees nice and wide for me. Make sure we still have contact with our whole foot and the floor. And time, guys. We're gonna go into your high knees next in 3, 2, 1. Pace is up to you guys. I'll walk and almost there. And time, guys. Take 3 deep breaths for me. We're going to go back to our jump squats and or our speed squats. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. Almost there. And time. Shake that out. We're going to go right back into that high knee walk for 20 seconds in 3, 2, 1. And again, if you don't really have room, you do not have to walk. You don't also have to walk backwards. I'm just doing that. Forwards is totally fine. And time, guys. 1 minute to rest. And we're going to go through this circuit one more time today. Again, like I said, if you have time and you're feeling good, feel free to do a third round. For the sake of time, I'm only going to do 2 today, and then we'll move on. So we'll do one more. So I'm going to fill up my water real quick. Like I said, be sure to, and feel free to comment on the video if there's a certain exercise that does not work for you and we can give you an alternative. I'm more than happy to go ahead and do that. All right, guys, it is about that time. We're going to start back up with our jump squats and or speed squats. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Hang in there, guys. Keep those cores nice and tight. Almost there. I don't care how fast you're going, just keep moving. And time. Shake that out. We're going to go right into that high knee walk in 3, 2, 1. You can Go faster if you want to challenge yourself and really pick up that pace for me. Almost there. And time, guys. Take 3 deep breaths for me. And then we're going to go back to our squats. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. Almost there. And time, guys. Shake that out. We'll finish the circuit up with our high knee walk. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. And time, guys. Awesome job. 1 minute to rest. We have one more circuit we're going to do today. We're going to go through it 2 times. You might want your mat for at least the first. And if you know what ab wheel is and have one, you can also use that instead of the body weight option for this exercise. That's just if you can and want. It's not necessary. All right, let me pull my mat back over. You guys have about 15 more seconds to rest. So we have 2 core exercises we're going to do for 45 seconds. The first one is a hand walkout on your knees. So I'm going to try and show you at this angle here. We're going to start on your hands and knees. And it's very similar to the motion of using an ab wheel if you've ever used one. What you're going to do is just walk those hands out. But when you do, make sure that your hips are starting to come with you. But my knees are still in contact with the ground. And I'm walking out as far as I can in a plank position to where the fact that my hips are not completely dipping. So what I mean by that is I don't want them to be here and my hands to be out here. So only walk your hands out as far as you can so you can maintain that nice straight line in that back. And like I said again, make sure when you do that as well, you're not just walking out your hands and your hips are still back behind you. So make sure those hips are coming with you. All right, I'm going to do this head on here. This is for 45 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Really, really squeeze those quads and those glutes. It's going to help you out a lot here. And as always, keep that core tight. If you feel like you can't walk out as far, that is okay. Just hold that position then for a couple seconds and you'll really feel it in your core. 15 more seconds. Almost there. And time, guys. Awesome job. If you have any sort of wrist pain again, we can just hold a front plank on our forearms for that one, okay? Our next thing is a lateral plank walk. I'm just gonna move my mat again a little bit here. So hands and feet in a plank position. I'm gonna also settle. And we're just gonna walk sideways, make sure we're maintaining. Our hips are not up like I'm doing right now because I feel like I don't have room, but try and keep those hips nice and level. And we're gonna walk back and forth. Again, if you have wrist issues, what I'll have you do is just go on your forearms in a plank and we're just gonna walk a couple steps to the left and right And then a couple steps to the left, I'm sorry. All right, might try and go this way. It'll be smaller distance, but this is for 45 seconds. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. It doesn't matter how much room you have, only if it's a couple steps, that's okay. And if this gets too challenging, just hold that plank on your hands for me. You need to. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. And time, guys. 1 minute to rest. And we're just going to go ahead and do this one more time for today. And I've been saying, if you want to and have the time to do 3 rounds, that is totally fine. You can even add a 4th round. I'm going to grab my mat. Get set up for my walkouts. And if you don't know already, and you like these workouts, feel free to join and have some interaction in our Zoom room, which you can find on our Activate Body Facebook page. We have a couple classes now running throughout the day, instead of just 1 or 2, which has been really, really cool. So definitely feel free to hop on, see how it is. There'll be a little more instruction, and it's a fun time. All right, we're going to do our hand walkout on our knees one last time. We'll get started in 3, 2, 1. So remember, make sure when you walk those hands out, those hips are coming with you, but not too much that you dip at the bottom. And do try and make sure you walk your hands all the way back in toward your knees. Because I keep sliding on my hardwood. Awesome job, guys. Hang in there. Last minute and a half of your workout. Same rules apply if you are doing a wheel with the hips and the glutes. Make sure that lower back doesn't dip. And time, guys. Last thing for today, I'm just going to move my mat again. We're going to do that plank walk on our hands. All right, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Remember, as best you can, try and make sure those hips stay level. Best way and best cue is to really try and make sure those shoulders stay right over top of those wrists. They don't have to be super wide or big steps either. Hang in there. Try and keep those legs locked out the whole time. Almost there. And time, guys. Awesome job. You guys can grab a drink. I'm going to grab my mat, and we're going to finish up with our cool down for today. All right, so first thing we're going to do is a cobra stretch. So you're going to lie on your stomach, and we're going to try and get our chest up as high as we can and lock out our arms to get a nice stretch in that lower back. I'm going to start the timer. This is going to be for a minute. If, as I've said before, if this is too much on your lower back and or your wrists, you are more than welcome to just go ahead on your forearms. Still try and getting that chest as high as you can, up this way, And if you also need to, you can always hold it and relax and then go back into it. You do not have to hold that whole minute. So find whatever is comfortable for you and what you get the most stretch out of. And just remember to take nice deep breaths in and out, let that heart rate come down. All right, you guys can relax. Next, we're going to go into a front plank to downward dog. If you have some wrist problems or it's too much on your wrists, especially because we've just done a ton on our wrists, you're more than welcome to find an elevated surface and go ahead on your forearms. I'm going to start the clock. We're going to do this for 1 minute. So we're going to be in a plank position. Try and get those heels down into the ground. Nice big stretch. And then return to that plank position. Again, make sure those hips don't dip. Just a nice straight line in that body. If you want to hang out in this position for a little bit, you are more than welcome to. I always do. I get a nice big stretch here in my calves. But anywhere you find a stretch along that back part of your leg is totally fine. I'm just very tight in my calves. There's no right or wrong way to feel this one. And as always, again, especially because we've been on our wrists a lot, you need to kind of take a knee and shake it out. That's fine. Just go right back into it. All right, you guys can come on down. We're going to be on our backs next. We're going to do a supine knee hug, so lying down on your back. We're going to bring one knee up into your chest. Head is going to be flush and flat on the ground. I'm just kind of up so I can talk to you guys. But I'm going to start the timer for 1 minute. And what you can do is you can hang out here if you'd like. You can also kind of play around and bring that leg toward the outside, toward the ground of your body if you would like. See how that feels. Again, no right or wrong way here. Nothing wrong or really anything that should or shouldn't be felt unless it's obviously very painful. But no wrong answer here. Just kind of find what talks to you. And again, just kind of take deep breaths in and out. And let the heart rate still continue to come on down. And you guys can go ahead and switch. Same thing on the other side. If you want to play around, bring it out to the outside of your body. Awesome job today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. We have one more thing after this, but you still have about 25 seconds down here. Here comes my dog. Hey, buddy. I'm almost done. I promise. We'll go out in a little bit, okay? How do dirt everywhere? What did you dig into? All right, you guys can relax from that position. You can stay on the ground. One final thing, this seems to be an all-time favorite of everyone. We're going to do something called Savasana, where you're just going to lie flat on your back. Limbs are just extended and limp. Head is back, and you're just going to relax all your muscles in your body. We're going to put the timer on for 1 minute here. And take some deep breaths for in and out. If you even want, you're more than welcome to close your eyes and really just take this time to relax. Let those muscles really just relax. Twenty seconds. Let me finish up my Savasana. All right, guys, that is our workout. Awesome job today, and we will have these each week for you. They will be different, but thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed, and again, just to remind you, please, 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 please comment if you need any kind of modifications to anything. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. All right, guys, have a wonderful day.